Hi everybody. Today I'm going to have you guys working in the classroom using the PhetCircuit simulator. I know some of you guys have a better circuit simulator in your shops, but this is the circuit simulator we're using today. You can find it using PhetCircuit, and we actually want an AC and DC simulator. That's important because we are going to be using something called a non-contact amp meter. When I get back, we'll be doing actual labs, and you're going to see how an amp meter has to be cut into the circuit so all the electricity flows through it, with the exception of an alternating current clamp meter. The circuit construction kit lets us use an alternating current clamp meter on a regular DC circuit. So we're going to go circuit construction kit. You want the AC DC. The computers, they may give you something like save, open, update Java, whatever it is. Do your best to ignore those prompts. We can always update Java later. Today is just not that day. All right, so I seem to be all set. What you're going to do today is just an experiment working with the simulator. Tomorrow you're going to run a lab connecting a bunch of light bulbs in series and parallel. So for today, you're just experimenting with how this works, doing things like grabbing a wire. You'll be grabbing a battery and grabbing a light bulb, and we're going to experiment with what these things are. So the light bulb does have two connecting points. In order to make a circuit, the electricity has to flow through that light bulb, from the battery through that light bulb. So I'll connect to each one of these points. And that's basically our circuit. The battery, we can change the voltage of it however we want. We can even crank it to, explosive levels, I suppose. And when you've experimented with this a little bit, you can take a look at answering the questions. They are understanding simulator type of questions. You've got things like, what are the blue spheres represents? What happens when you put more batteries in? What happens with more wires? The simulator does include realistic values for resistance inside the wire. I also want to show you voltmeters and non-contact amp meter on the side. So a voltmeter, you are just going to, boom, connecting 2 points. Bam, I still have a silly amount of voltage going through it. Change voltage. No more volts. All right, so I'll leave it at that. The non-contact amp meter, you can hold it over any point where you've got blue, those blue spheres flowing, and it'll read you the amperage value for it. A couple questions, answer them on a separate sheet or typed in complete sentences. Those of you that just do a bad job answering questions and then ask if you can correct your work, no, do a good job the first time. It's ridiculous. Get ready for college. Get ready to do the right thing. Conditions required to complete a circuit. The last question, number 9, is the one that'll take you a few minutes. Up in the top corner, there is a grab bag. The grab bag has a bunch of items that you can add, and what I want you to do is to determine which one, to rank all of these grab bag items. So that's dollar, paperclip, penny, eraser, hand, and unfortunately dog, in terms of how much electrical resistance they have. So you've got all the tools to do that here, and that's probably the experiment that's going to take the most time. When you're done with this, Mr. Farkas does have a worksheet on calculating power for you to work with. The worksheet does involve some questions about series and parallel circuits, so it is going to go with what you're doing tomorrow. Tomorrow we will, boom, reset settings. Tomorrow what you're going to be doing is setting up multiple light bulbs, 3 of them, and you're going to set them up in series and in parallel. There are drawings for exactly how these things are supposed to be wired. The drawings are schematic diagrams, but you should be able to translate those appropriately. We'll be doing this in the classroom. I have 10 laptops. They should be returned to a plug at the end of class to make sure they do get back plugged in so that we have them for tomorrow. If you really need to fish wires out of the storage laptop thing, you can. But again, I have 5 laptops that are plugged in on the lab cart. 5 of them are being charged right now. So those 5, I like to keep them as battery operating laptops you can work, in a desk area with. The other ones have a nice spot on the lab. You can spread out. You can use your own laptop if you've got it. And that's the assignment for today, and that's also basically the assignment for tomorrow. So you've got 2 lab worksheets and a math skills worksheet to be working on. All right? Thank you, everybody.